So really what could set you up to building a really good NFL team on paper, acing your draft picks. Because if you do not do well in the NFL draft, it is going to creep up and come back to bite you over the next few years, because this is the time where you can get really good talent on really cheap contracts. And for today's video, I'm going to rank every single NFL team's drafts over the last 5 years. So we're going to take into account 2020, 2021, 22, 23, and 24. This is a video leading up to the 2025 draft. I will not take into consideration anything you did in the 2019 draft. We're going to have the cutoff be 2020. Here are the tiers. You're one of the best drafting teams over the last 5 years. It will help that maybe you were a bad team and you had some high picks. Pretty good. Like, you're right off there, but I don't want to throw too many teams in elite. Saved by a few picks. So like, you had some home run draft picks. Maybe you had some bad ones, but it's saved. Could be better, self-explanatory, and just you're one of the worst drafting teams over the last 5 years with all things considered. So let's start off here with the New Orleans Saints. So the Saints, oh man, this is a crazy one to start off with. So yeah, Cesar Ruiz back in 2020, a player that never made it to a Pro Bowl. You have Zach Bond, who was currently a very impactful player for the Philadelphia Eagles there in the Super Bowl. The Peyton Turner pick in 2021 was one of the worst in that draft. I mean, Paulson Adebo is a really nice find there in the 3rd round. Ian Book there in the 4th round. 2022, I mean, Chris Olave was a great pick, but you traded for Trevor Penning. Never really worked out for you whatsoever. They also didn't find any guys in the late rounds. Like, Brian Brzee was fine, but nothing too special for the 29th overall pick. Kendre Miller, like, maybe you didn't really need a running back right away. Hey, there's Jake Haener in the 4th round. Fuaga looks like he could be a good pick. Coy McKinstry, like, this 2024 draft probably looks like one of the better ones. It's just like, we hold the Mickey Loomis 2017 draft to such a high standard now, because, I mean, it is one of the best draft classes you can ever get. Lattimore, Ramczyk, Marcus Williams, Kamara, Anzalone, and Hendrickson. Like, that's actually elite. But yeah, for this team, over the last 5 years, there's a reason why they've had to just keep paying their guys. I think they're one of the worst teams. Now, I could maybe change it. Maybe I'm going to find some other teams that are really bad. But yeah, I think the Saints are one of the worst drafting teams since the year 2020. Next up, we have the Miami Dolphins. I'm not sure how much better it's going to be. Actually, it's definitely going to be better because this is the Tua pick. But they also, I mean, Austin Jackson could be worse, could definitely be a lot better there. That was from the Minkah Fitzpatrick trade. Yeah, the corner pick there in the 1st round wasn't great either. Robert Hunt, though, good find there in the 2nd round. Brandon Jones, really good find there in this in the 3rd round as well. Waddle and Phillips and Holland. Eichenberg is now basically an interior offensive lineman for them. Like, good enough. 2021 draft could also be a lot worse, but they traded away a lot of picks too to get Tyreek Hill. They obviously traded down in 2021 where they had some other firsts and they used it for Bradley Chubb and Tyreek Hill. So they didn't have much in 2022. Didn't really find too many rotational guys there. Cam Smith, like, we'll see how much he can keep developing. Devon Achane, good pick in the 3rd round, but just not having any first and not a lot of draft picks, only 8 selections in 22 and 23, kind of coming back to bite them a little bit. I mean, Chop Robinson looks like a good pick. Patrick Paul looks like a good pick, but will Jalen Wright have much of a say? I mean, maybe as RB2 this year. I don't know if I want to put it in saved by a few picks or pretty good, because there's been some bad picks. There have been some good picks. I'm going to say it's pretty good, but there's a chance I end up dropping it. I just don't really know where this is going to be relative to the league yet. Next up, we have the Baltimore Ravens, a team that obviously hit a home run back there in the 2018 draft, getting Lamar Jackson, even like Mark Andrews and Orlando Brown and Deshaun Elliott. Really good draft by them. But to start things off in 2020, Patrick Queen gave them some really good years. J.K. Dobbins was a good enough running back, but dealt with some injuries. Matabuke, phenomenal pick there in the 3rd round. Had a lot of 3rd round picks. That was by far the best one there. And then Geno Stone in the 7th round. It's a pretty good find. 2021, though, like, Rashad Bateman had a good year in 2024, but maybe not good enough for a 1st round pick. Odafe Owe was a good pick. Nobody else was too much of an impact player outside of maybe Brandon Stevens. 2022, though, getting Kyle Hamilton somehow falls to them at 14. Trade away Hollywood Brown for the Linderbaum pick. Some other solid players in here, like Isaiah Likely there in the 4th round. It's something. Zay Flowers there in round 1. I think it's been a good pick. Could have been Quentin Johnston-esque. I'm sure you would have JSN over any of those guys, but I think it's a debate between Zay and Addison. Maybe would still take Zay Flowers. And Nate Wiggins looks like he could be a solid corner in this league. I wouldn't say, I don't know if I want to say it's been saved by a few picks, but I think it actually has been pretty good. So I'm going to throw it in pretty good. I wonder, yeah, who will have kind of dropping there a little bit. So let's go to the Cincinnati Bengals, which I feel like I know what it's going to be. So going there in 2020, Joe Burrow, T. Higgins, Logan Wilson, really good start to that 2020 draft. 2021, it was the debate between Penei Sewell or Jamar Chase. you couldn't go wrong either way. And Jamar Chase turned into one of the best receivers. Sewell turned into one of the best offensive tackles. Carmen, not a great pick. Osai, could be better, could be worse. You get Evan McPherson. There you go in the 5th round. Chris Evans in the 6th round. In 2022, though, the start of some first-round picks that haven't worked out. Because Daxton Hill, not really worked out. Cam Taylor-Britt hasn't worked out too much, but could be worse for sure. Miles Murphy hasn't really worked out as a first-round pick, but you get Chase Brown in this draft. You get Yoshivas in this draft. And then in 2024, Amarius Mims did not have a good rookie year. To be honest with you, I think I'm going to put it saved by a few picks. Because, yeah, Burrow, Higgins was great. Jamar Chase was great. But the rest could be a little bit, or could be a lot better for sure. So I think it is saved by some of those elite skill position players they drafted. Next up, we have the Denver Broncos, who are trying to basically find their next quarterback throughout this time. I mean, Jerry Jeudy in 2020 didn't really work out too much for them. And they could have had CeeDee Lamb or Justin Jefferson. So I'm not really going to say that's a great pick. But getting Lloyd Cushenberry there in the 3rd round was probably like their best pick in this draft. Like KJ Hamler, injuries kind of derailed his career. 2021, though, bounced back a little bit. Quinn Miners, great pick. Obviously, Patrick Surtain, phenomenal pick there at number 9. Javonte Williams, I thought was going to be so good. Had good moments, but obviously got hurt a little bit, and is now a Dallas Cowboy. 2022, they didn't have a 1st-round pick from the Sean Payton trade, I believe, and Nick Bonito was a phenomenal pick there. Some good depth there, but nothing too crazy. 2023, yeah, or maybe this was the year they didn't have a 1st-round pick from that, but either way, like Marvin Mims, fine. Riley Moss, good find there for sure in the 3rd round. And then 2024, looks like it's a solid draft so far with Bo Nix leading the way. Not gonna lie though, like Patrick Surtain, phenomenal pick. The 2020 draft, like kind of lackluster. 2021, Baron Browning, like also another good selection there in this draft. Quinn Miners, like I said, kind of saves it. I mean, Nick Bonito was a phenomenal pick, and Surtain and Bonito back-to-back drafts is great. I don't know. I think I might put it in saved by a few picks. I don't know if I'm gonna drop any of these down. I feel like just because the Bengals got Burrow, Chase, T. Higgins, I gotta keep them above Denver. Because Burrow, I mean, it was the number 1 pick, so it wasn't like it was super impressive, though. But for now, we're going to have these guys in this tier. So for the New York Giants, they drafted Daniel Jones in the 1st round of 2019 and Dexter Lawrence and DeAndre Baker, but we will not be taking that into consideration. I mean, Andrew Thomas didn't really work out at the start, then turned into a really good offensive tackle, but banged up a little bit throughout the course of his career. Xavier McKinney, great pick, but they didn't re-sign him. And then not much else there in the 2020 draft. Kadarius Toney, after trading down with the Bears, they take Fields. Didn't really work out. Azeez Ojulari, fine player. Honestly, for the 2nd round, could be a lot worse than that, but not much else outside of that. 2022, you had 2 top 10 picks in a good draft of skill position or a non-quarterbacks, and you take Kayvon Thibodeau and Evan Neal. Like, the Jets ended up with Sauce Gardner and Garrett Wilson. I know they couldn't have taken Sauce, but you could have ended up with Kyle Hamilton and Garrett Wilson, and you didn't. Wan'Dale Robinson, fine receiver. Could be worse, like Daniel Bellinger. I mean, the Giants, man. Deontay Banks hasn't really worked out. John Michael Schmitz, like Jalen Hyatt. I mean, a lot of people thought he was going to work out. He was like the best receiver in college. Didn't really work out whatsoever. Drew Phillips looks good. It looks like they aced this 2024 draft with Neighbors, Newman, Phillips, Johnson, and Tracy. But honestly, I mean, there's been some bad draft picks throughout this. I don't know if it's mean, but I think I might throw them in could be better. I may actually drop them to the worst at the end of this. Like I said, I just want to see where that's going to be relative to everybody else. For the Minnesota Vikings, too, you start off the 2020s with Justin Jefferson, and look how many picks they had in that 2020 draft. You get KJ Osborne, you get Urza Cleveland, like you get some solid players, and obviously you get arguably the best receiver in the NFL in Justin Jefferson. That's going to help out a lot. Christian Darrisaw, I know, been banged up, but phenomenal pick there. Kellen Mond, maybe not as much from Texas A&M. And then like Patrick Jones, fine. Cameron Bynum, great find there in the 4th round of this draft. 2022, it's been catching up to them a little bit. Lewis Seen, Andrew Booth, Ed Ingram, a lot of these guys, I mean, for them, haven't really worked out. Addison, really good pick. Like, low-key, I don't know. Like, the Vikings draft history has not been great. I don't know if I want to put it in the worst because, like, you got Jefferson and Darrisaw. But there have been some bad picks. I mean, there's been some late round finds for sure. But, I mean, they've added a lot, like getting Aaron Jones, getting Sam Darnold, relying on Kevin O'Connell, getting Andrew Van Ginkel, getting Jonathan Grenard. So I think I'm actually going to throw the Vikings in. Could definitely be better. Even though they ended up getting Jefferson and Darrisaw on back-to-back drafts. The LA Rams obviously didn't have a lot of first-round picks over the course of time. I mean, they end up getting Matthew Stafford. You end up getting Jalen Ramsey. So Getting Cam Akers, I mean, I wouldn't say that's been a great pick. Van Jefferson, I mean, Cam Akers also suffered some injuries, unfortunately. You get Van Jefferson in the second round, also maybe not the best pick in the world going forward. In 2021, Tutu Atwell, also like top 60 pick on another skill position player that, fine, not really the best in the world. Ernest Jones, fine pick there for them. Ben Skowronek there in the 7th round. 2022, Kyron Williams, great find for them. Quinton Lake, solid pick for a 6th round pick. Kobe Durant, solid pick for a 4th round pick. 2023, look at all the picks they had in this draft. I believe this had to be from some comp picks, but yeah, they had some really nice selections, like Byron Young in the 3rd round is a solid pick. Stetson Bennett in the 4th, but Kobe Turner in the 3rd round, phenomenal pick there. Puka Nacua in the 5th round, amazing pick there. And then 2024 looks pretty good so far with Fisk, Verse, Kitchens going forward, and even Jordan Whittington showed some flashes, and we'll see about Blake Corum. I mean, they just haven't had a lot of 1st round picks. They've had some really nice late round finds. So I think I'm going to throw in saved by a few picks, like the Puka pick, the Kyron Williams pick, and the 2024 draft looks good. Maybe I'll end up dropping them, like I said. So for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, in 2020, I mean, this was a great draft, and like you're simultaneously getting close to like getting Tom Brady, Tristan Wirfs, Antoine Winfield, like some real like studs there in the 1st and 2nd round. That can help you out in the long term. I'm in Tyrone Shoyinka in the 2021 draft wasn't great. Contrast wasn't great. Yeah, this 2021 draft wasn't great. 2022, you take Rashad White, and Cade Otton. Some good picks. Even Zion McCollum giving you good reps for a 5th round pick. 2023, Kawaja Kancey. Maybe you'd like for him to be a little bit better, but still a good player. Yaya Diaby, good player as well. Even Trey Palmer there in the 6th. And then 2024 looks like we'll see. Graham Barden can hopefully be better pretty much in year 2. McMillan looks good. Irving looks good. It's not the best in the world, but I don't think it's in the worst in the world. I'm going to put it in could be better, though. And I think we're going to have our first elite one here. We do have the Detroit Lions. So, yeah, start off 2020. It's funny because it's probably their worst pick, taking Jeff Okudah number 3. They could have taken Justin Herbert if they knew they were trading away like Matthew Stafford, obviously, moving forward, if they really liked Herbert. CD Lamb at 3. That was never happening. DeAndre Swift, fine pick for a 2nd round. Could be a lot better than some of the other running backs we talked about that have gone that high. Jonah Jackson in the 3rd round, phenomenal pick for them. Here in 2021, Penei Sewell, like elite pick there. Ali McNeil in the 3rd round, phenomenal pick. And Amon-Ra St. Brown in the 4th round. Like this setup, like this draft by Brad Holmes, absolutely elite. Like ace this draft, for sure. In 2022, capitalize that. I know Jameson Williams hasn't like been as good as a 1st round receiver, but had a good 2024. But Aiden Hutchinson there at number 2. They were kind of blessed that Trayvon Walker ended up going number 1, but Kirby Joseph in the 3rd round was a phenomenal pick as well. 2023 kept that momentum going. Gibbs, Campbell, Laporta, and Branch. You really can't get better to start off a draft than those 4 picks right there. And then we'll see how like Arnold could have been a lot better in his rookie year, but we'll see how he's going to be going forward in Rakestraw as well. But I do think this has been an elite stretch for the Detroit Lions. Maybe it's going to fall in pretty good, but I think I'm going to have them in elite right now. For the Chicago Bears, also another interesting team. I mean, they didn't have a 1st round there in the 2020 draft. I assume that's from Khalil Mack, but I could be wrong. But hey, pretty good start getting Cole Kmet and Jalen Johnson, and you find Darnell Mooney there in the 5th round. In 2021, you trade up to take Fields. I mean, Fields could be as bad as Zach Wilson or Trey Lance or even Mac Jones was. So it's not the worst pick in the world, but you did sacrifice your 2022 first. Tevin Jenkins. I mean, I like Tevin Jenkins a ton coming out of Oklahoma State. Khalil Herbert there in the 6th. And then 2022, you had a lot of picks, but hey, Kyler Gordon, not a bad pick. Brisker, not a bad pick either. Braxton Jones, like you found a legitimate starter there in the 5th round. Look at all the 5th, 6th, and 7th. 2023, they trade down out of Bryce Young. They take Darnell Wright, good pick. Gervin Dexter, pretty solid pick. Tarek Stevenson, great pick. I thought Roshan was going to be a little bit better going forward. And then 2024, Caleb Rome, pretty good picks right there. I think for them, I might throw it in pretty good, or it's saved by a few picks. Oh, man, this one is kind of tough. It's kind of tough because I'm comparing so many players. I think I'm going to throw it in saved. I don't know, though. I think they've done a pretty good job, though, developing talent over these years throughout the draft. So I'm going to throw it in pretty good, but I don't think it's elite. And obviously Caleb helps that it wasn't 1 their pick and 2. It wasn't really a tough decision to make. So with the San Francisco 49ers, I know Kinlaw didn't really live up to the hype of a 1st round pick, but like didn't flame out. Brandon Ayuk in the 1st round, good pick. And Juwan Jennings in the 7th round, phenomenal pick. Yeah, Trey Lance, pretty bad pick. And you traded 3 1st round picks. That's going to dock you a little bit, but Ali Noor there in the 5th, Hufanga there in the 5th, Elijah Mitchell in the 6th, Jalen Moore in the 5th. and Aaron Banks in the second, like guys that just got paid this offseason. Pretty good draft outside of the Lance pick. In 2022, they didn't have a first round pick and didn't really have the best draft in the world, but they ended up with Brock Purdy there, which is a really good pick, which kind of makes up for the Lance pick in a way. Didn't have any top picks there in 2023. They end up trading for Christian McCaffrey. Also, maybe not the best draft in the world for them either. And then Purcell looks good. Renardo Green looks pretty good. Pooney looks good. Mustafa looks good. Gary Endo looks good. Like, I don't want to know if I want to put this as an elite, but I think it's been pretty good. Like, I think John Lynch and Shanahan outside, it's like they've been a well-ran organization just outside the Trey Lance trade, because that one was really bad. And it would have sent the franchise back years if they didn't take Brock Purdy a year later. So here we go. I think we're going to have another elite one. If you remember at this time too, like the Eagles won the Super Bowl, right? And then they move on from Doug Peterson, but everyone's like, who's their next quarterback going to be? They take Hurts. We thought they were going to maybe end up with Fields or somebody like that. In 2020, they end up passing up on Justin Jefferson for Jalen Reagor. They never heard the end of that. But hey, Quez Watkins there in the 6th round, could be worse. But then, hey, this is where Howie Roseman started to cook. Obviously, it started with Jalen Hurts there in 2020. Devonta Smith, Landon Dickerson, Milton Williams. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? What an elite start to the 2021 draft. 2022, Jordan Davis, pretty good pick. Cam Jurgens, really good pick. Nakobe Dean, great pick. And even Grant Calcaterra has given them some reps as well. 2023, though, this is where Howie kept building through the draft and obviously traded for well, in 2022, we traded for A.J. Brown, but they also traded down on the night of the 2021 draft. You get Jalen Carter, falls to them for some character reasons, and he's been a beast. Nolan Smith, Tyler Steen, all been pretty good, and Tanner McKee, stand up. And then 2024, you get Quinion Mitchell, you get Cooper DeJean, Jeremiah Trotter, guys that have contributed for them. I honestly think, outside of the Jalen Reagor pick, it's been pretty elite drafting from Howie Roseman. For the Las Vegas Raiders, I don't think I'm going to give this a kind grade. I mean, Henry Ruggs, Damon Arnett, not really a great 2020 draft to start things off. 2019 was a roller coaster because you whiffed on the Farrell pick, but you got Max Crosby there in the 4th round and Jacobs. But 2021, Leatherwood, absolute bust for them. I believe over Darisaw. Trayvon Morg, actually a pretty good pick. Some other guys that have come and gone. Nate Hobbs, honestly not a bad 5th round find. 2022, they didn't have a 1st or a 2nd round pick in this draft from the Devontae Adams trade, I believe. Yeah, I mean, Zamir White gave you a solid 2023 season, but not really a great draft for them. Tyree Wilson, also some other guys were kind of on the board. Michael Mayer, fine. Byron Young, fine. Trey Tucker, fine. Aiden O'Connell, honestly, for a 4th round QB, fine. 2024, though, looks like a start of a solid draft. Brock Bowers, Jackson Powers-Johnson look like real contributors for this team. And obviously, Brock Bowers was a phenomenal pick, but I do think I have to throw this in some of the worst drafting since 2020. For the Green Bay Packers, I mean, 2020 got off to a good start. Jordan Love, A.J. Dillon in the 2nd round could have been a little bit worse. John Runyon there, in the 6th round as well. Jake Hansen. In 2021, Eric Stokes, very up and down experience with him, as that draft was okay. Amari Rodgers, oh man, loved him coming out of Clemson. 2022, I mean, could have been a little bit better. You could have ended up with like Devin Lloyd, but you end up with Quay Walker and Devontae Wyatt, who've given them some reps. Romeo Dobbs in the 4th round, not bad. But Zach Tom, elite pick for sure. 2023, a lot of draft picks here. Lucas Van Ness doesn't look like the best pick right now, but Musgrave looks good. We're fine. Jaden Reed looks great. Tucker Kraft looks fine. And Sean Clifford. Dontavian Wicks was a good pick for them. And then in 2024, Morgan, TBD on him, but Edgerrin Cooper looks like one of the best picks value-wise in the 24 draft. I think I'm going to put it in saved by a few picks. Maybe it could be better. Maybe, I think it's saved by a few picks because I want to give them credit for Jordan Love when nobody thought they should have done that. Washington too, Chase Young, I mean, looked so good in 2020 and we thought like this was going to be one of the next best edge rushers in the league, but didn't really work out in Washington. But Antonio Gibson, good pick for pick 66 there in the 3rd round, and Cameron Curl, also another good pick there in the 7th round. 2021, Jamin Davis, I mean, could have been a lot better than that. Could have been, I guess, worse. De'Ami Brown just got $10 million a year. Do we want to give that a good pick? But Sam Cosmi, that's also a good pick. 2022, Jahan Dotson didn't work out. Yeah, this is a pretty rough draft outside of Brian Robinson Jr. And I mean, Sam Howell for a 5th isn't terrible. Emmanuel Forbes, man, that's really hard to justify. And yeah, 2024 looks like it's a step in the right direction with Adam Peters running the show, with Coleman, Sanat, Sam Ristel, Johnny Noon, and obviously Jaden Daniels, which wasn't like the easiest pick in the world. You could have definitely taken Drake May. I'm going to say it could be better. I mean, I don't know if I want to put it in the worst. But if there needs to be a 5th team in there, I'm going to drop them. For the Arizona Cardinals, they drafted Kyler Murray in 2019. So fresh off of that, Isaiah Simmons didn't really work out. Not a lot of these guys long-term here in the 2020 draft. Remember, Benjamin. 2021, David Collins, good pick. Rondo Moore, fine pick. Ended up not spending too much time there. 2022, Trey McBride, phenomenal pick out of Colorado State. Not having a first-round pick in this draft either. Keontae Ingram there in the 6th round. Cam Thomas. 2023, Paris Johnson looked like a good pick. Garrett Williams, great pick. Michael Wilson, really solid pick as well. Clayton Tune, shout out Houston there in the 5th round. And then 2024, Marv, TBD on him. Darius Robinson didn't really have the best rookie year. Max Melton, TBD, like on a lot of these guys, honestly. I don't know, man. Like outside of Zaven Collins, Trey McBride, I mean, the 2023 draft was really good, but I think I'm going to put it in could be better as well. Let's see how harsh I want to be on my Pittsburgh Steelers. It might be pretty harsh. So Chase Claypool, I mean, gave you good production, and then you traded him for the first pick in the 2nd round to take Joey Porter Jr. Alex Highsmith, great pick. Kevin Dotson, like, good pick in the grand scheme of things, but didn't work out in Pittsburgh. He's a lot better there in LA. Najee Harris in the 1st round hasn't really aged the best. Could have been a lot worse of a pick, but for what they needed, a 1st round running back, not great. 22, our next pick, you end up taking Pat Freiermuth, not great. Kendrick Green didn't work out in Pittsburgh. Dan Moore just got paid a lot of money, but didn't really work out in Pittsburgh. I mean, you could have had like Creed Humphrey and Landon Dickerson in this draft. 2022, you took Kenny Pickett 20th overall. Not saying it set the franchise back, but it didn't set it forward. George Pickens, good pick there at 52. He dropped for character reasons. DeMarvin Wheel, not really the best pick in the world. Calvin Austin, solid for the 4th round pick. Connor Hayward, fine for a 6th round pick. Broderick Jones hasn't really worked out. Joey Porter Jr., I think, is kind of overrated in the NFL. Keanu Benton, phenomenal pick there in the 2nd round. Nick Herbert, phenomenal pick there in the 4th round. Even Corey Trice in the 7th round's fine. Anderson and Washington aren't too bad either. Like, it's not the worst 2023 draft. 2024, though, I mean, Zach Frazier and Peyton Wilson look like really good picks, and Mason McCormick. But Fatanu was banged up this year. I mean, I don't know if I want to put it in the worst. Like, I think it could be worse. So I'm going to put it in could be better, but honestly, if I'm going to drop it down, it's going to be close to dropping it down. All right, let's go to Buffalo here. We had AJ Epineza there in the 2nd round in 2020. Zach Moss, fine pick in the 3rd round. Good pick for Gabe Davis there in the 4th round. Ty Bass, maybe never should draft kickers, but hey, worked out there in the 6th. 2021, Gregory Rousseau, a really good pick. Shout out to DeMar Hamlin there in the 6th. That is good value. Kyrie Elam did not work out. James Cook did. Terrell Bernard, solid player. Khalil Shakir really worked out. Christian Benford worked out. This is a really good 2022 draft for the Bills. 2023, Kincaid, solid pick. Torrance, we'll see how he's going to look long-term for this team. And then Keon Coleman looks really good for this team. Ray Davis looks like a difference maker as well. I don't know if I want to put in saved by a few picks. Like, I think for what they've been given, and they're usually picking late, I think they've done a fine job, honestly. Like, Kyrie Elam is like their only 1st rounder they haven't really hit on, honestly. And they've hit on like the skill position guys like Coleman and Cook and Shakir and Gabe Davis. So I'm going to actually put the Bills in pretty good given what they're considered every year drafting late. All right, so for the Atlanta Falcons, AJ Terrell, a phenomenal pick there in the 1st round in the 2020 draft. Not much else after that. 2021, Kyle Pitts. Yeah, I mean, you could have had Penei Sewell. You could have had Jamar Chase. Did not work out. Drew Dahlman, good find there in the 4th round. Here in 2022, Drake London, a little bit of a shocker when he went over Garrett Wilson and Olave at the time. But hey, he looks like a really good receiver in this league. Not much else, but hey, Algier in the 5th's fine. Ritter, not really a great 3rd round pick, but for those mid-round quarterbacks, you're kind of just throwing a dart at a dartboard. Not really the best 2023 draft either with Bijan. After that, 2024, you took Penix. Looks like a fine pick now that Kirk Cousins really didn't work out for this team. I mean, not much else with Rook and Braylon there that weren't the best A2 picks. I either want to put it in like, could be better. I mean, it could be the worst, but I think London, Bijan, and Terrell have really saved that draft, and maybe Penix as well. Next up, we have the Seattle Seahawks. In 2020, you got Jordan Brooks there in the 1st round, but a nice find with Darrell Taylor there in the 2nd round. Colby Parkinson, DJ Dallas there in the mid-rounds of 2020. 2021, they barely had any picks. They didn't really hit on them. 2022, Charles Cross, though. This is the aftermath from the Rush trade, or that might have been in 2023, or it was. But either way, you got Charles Cross there at pick 9. Actually, no, it was. This is, I believe, from the Broncos, because you had to give your other 1st round pick to the Jets for Jamal Adams. Boye Mafe, solid pick for there in the 2nd round. Kenneth Walker, Abraham Lucas, and Kobe Bryant, and Tariq Woolen. Really good draft by John Schneider there in 2022. 2023, like Witherspoon, Smith-Njigba, Hall, Charbonnet looks pretty good. Cameron Young, some other guys there in that draft. And then 2024, Murphy looks good. We'll see about Christian Haynes or AJ Barner, any of those guys going forward. I mean, honestly, like 2021, I guess is a wash. 2020 wasn't great, but I think they've done a good job over the last 3 drafts. So I'm actually going to put the Seahawks in pretty good. I don't know. I don't know if that's too high because like maybe I should be factoring that in more because they didn't really hit on these picks. Maybe, I don't know, because I think they've gotten a lot of good depth over the last few drafts, but you could disagree with that. For the New England Patriots, I mean, Kyle Duggar was a good pick. Josh Uche was a good pick. Jennings, could be better, could be worse for a mid-round find. Mac Jones, I mean, worked out in your rookie year, not after that. Barmore, though, great pick. Stevenson, great pick. 2022, though, it's a rough draft. It's pretty much what started setting the franchise back. 2023, kind of saved by the first 2 picks in Keon White and Christian Gonzalez. And Drake May looks great, but after that, I don't know. I mean, you turned Joe Milton into a higher round pick. I think the Patriots have been, I don't know about the worst, because like Barmore was good, Drake May was good, Gonzalez was good, Keon White was good. Maybe I'll put it in could be better for now. The Cleveland Browns, another team that was picking fairly high throughout this. I mean, not as high as they were in the mid 2010s, but Jedrick Wills didn't work out in the long term, like maybe as like a premier franchise left tackle or offensive tackle, but a good player. Grant Delpit had his moments there. Harrison Bryant even, and Donovan Peoples-Jones for a 6th round pick. Yeah. Greg Newsome, good corner, 1st rounder in 21. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, JOK in the 2nd round was a phenomenal pick. Anthony Schwartz didn't really work out for them either. 2022, they didn't really have a lot to work with. Started the Deshaun Watson trade, and yeah, not a lot of difference makers in the 2022 draft. 2023, I mean, Tillman's a good find. Dorian Thompson-Robinson, Isaiah McGuire is a really good find there in the 4th round. And then 2024, maybe not the most exciting draft after their first year. I mean, Wills, Delpit, JOK, and Greg Newsome were good picks, but they didn't really have a lot to work with post Deshaun Watson. Like, they haven't had a 1st round pick in 3 years. Damn. I kind of want to say the Browns are up there in the worst, though. Yeah, I mean, because I'm factoring in the Deshaun trade. For Houston, 2020, hey, Jonathan Grenard is a phenomenal pick there in the 3rd round. 2021, Nico Collins there in the 3rd round. He was there through some bad quarterback play. And then 2022, Derek Stingley, phenomenal pick, turning into one of the best corners in the league. Kenyon Green, not as much. Pitre, though, good pick. Mechie, we'll still see how he works out. Harris, Pierce, Booker, maybe not the best guys in the world, but for where they were drafted, could be a lot worse. Stroud and Anderson, though, like, you loaded up on talent here in the 23 draft. Tank Dell as well. And then here in 2024, Lassiter looks solid as a rookie. Keelan Bullock looks solid as a rookie. I think the Texans, like, with all things considered, I know it's 2020 and 2021 were kind of washes for them as they were building around Deshaun, but I think they've done a really good job over the last 3 drafts with talent, so I think I'm going to put them in pretty good. For Kansas City, though, Clyde Edwards-Helaire hasn't really worked out, but L'Jarius Sneed there in the 4th round was a really good pick, got some good years out of him. Nick Bolton, great pick in 21. Creed Humphrey and round 2 as well, and even Noah Gray and Trey Smith in the 6th round, phenomenal selections. McDuffie and Karlaftis, like, great picks there off the Tyreek Hill trade. More not so much for the team, but hey, Pacheco in the 7th round was a really good pick. Uzoma didn't really work out as a 1st rounder, but Rashee Rice definitely did. And then Worthy looks like a good player as well for this team. I think I'm going to put it in saved by a few picks, though. But I think they've done a fair job always picking at the end of the 1st round. For the Dallas Cowboys, though, really good starts to the 2020s with CeeDee Lamb and Trayvon Diggs. Ben DiNucci in that draft. Micah Parsons, great pick there in 2021. And Osa Odigizua. Not much else, though, throughout that has really worked out. Even, like, Chauncey Goldston, all right, honestly. Tyler Smith, up and down on him. We'll see how he's going to be long-term. Ferguson, good find in the 4th. Deron Bland, really good find there in the 5th. 2023, I mean, Mozzie Smith, not great, but overshown there in the 3rd round. Phenomenal pick. Didn't really see the need to take Schoonmaker after taking Ferguson. Guyton, looks up and down, but can still be there long-term. Nealon looks like he can be a solid player for them. I mean, honestly, though, like, Parsons helps out a lot. Odigizua helps out a lot. Lamb and Diggs, I think I'm going to throw them saved in by a few picks as well. For the LA Chargers, I mean, good start with Justin Herbert and Kenneth Murray there in 2020 and 21. Slater, phenomenal pick. Samuel, you'll definitely take that for a 2nd rounder. Palmer in the 3rd round, you'll definitely take that as well. 2022, Zion Johnson, maybe not the best 1st round pick in the world. 2023, Quentin Johnston, didn't really work out, but he really aced the 24 draft with Alt, McConkey. I think Colson's going to be a good player too. He's still, damn, that 2024 draft really saved them from, I think, being in the worst. I think it could be better. I mean, Herbert, Slater, Samuel, I mean, it's just like 22 and 23 weren't great, but I think the rest of it was actually pretty good. So I'm actually going to bump them up to pretty good. Say by a few picks. I mean, they haven't really hit a ton on mid to late round finds. I think I'm going to throw them in saved by a few picks as well. All right, so for the New York Jets, we started off 2020 with Mekhi Becton, who looked so good after the rookie year. Didn't really work out in New York. Denzel Mims, man, did not work out. But in 2021, Zach Wilson didn't work out. But hey, Elijah Vera Tucker did. Elijah Moore did not work out. Michael Carter, fine for a 4th round pick. Jamie Sherwood, pretty good pick there for the 5th round. And then they took, another Michael Carter. In 2022, they started off phenomenal. Like Gardner and Garrett Wilson, phenomenal picks. And if Johnson can get healthy again, with Breece Hall, if he can look healthy again, or look like himself from 2023, this is a loaded 2022 draft. 23, Will McDonald had a good year too. Tippmann looked great this year for them. And then Fashanu looked pretty good. Corley not as much. Allen looked pretty good. And even Isaiah Davis looked all right this year as well. I think the Jets... I don't know. I think I'm going to throw them in the mid-tier. For Carolina, they're a team that started off with Derek Brown, like a really good start, and Jeremy Chin in the 2nd round. In 2021, J.C. Horn, great pick. Marshall, the one LSU receiver with Chase and Jefferson that didn't work out there. In 2022, Ekwonu could have been a lot better of a pick there. Matt Corral did not work out for this team. And then 2023, Bryce Young, kind of still TBD on how he's going to look as a number 1 pick. Mingo, at least they got something for him. Shout out to the Cowboys for taking him. And then Leggett looks fine. Jalen Coker was undrafted, but looks fine. Brooks, I mean, TBD. Honestly, for the Panthers, I got to throw them in the worst. They have not been a good drafting team since 2020. The Tennessee Titans, Isaiah Wilson, not really a good start. Fulton could have been, I guess, worse for them. 21, Farley did not work out in a draft that Horn and Surtain went earlier. Radins was pretty good. Not much else there in 2021. Like for difference makers, like Rashad Weaver was fine for a 4th round pick. Treylon Burks, this was your AJ Brown replacement. Did not work out. Malik Willis went in this draft, but is no longer on the team. Okonkwo went in this draft. Kyle Phillips, fine. Skoronski, Will Levis, Tyjae Spears, good pick. And then we'll see about Latham as a number 7 overall pick. Tavondre Sweat, I think actually could be a good player. And Cedric Gray as well. But yeah, I think I also have to throw the Tennessee Titans in some of the worst drafted teams since 2020. For the Jacksonville Jaguars, a team that's picked very high since 2020. CJ Henderson did not work out. Clavon Chason did not work out for them. Chenault, everybody loved coming out of Colorado, did not work out all pretty much. I mean, they had a lot of draft picks in 2020. Did not work out, but they were able to get Trevor Lawrence in 21. ETN gave them some production. Tyson Campbell, I think, fine corner for sure for a 2nd round pick. Walker Little, Andre Cisco, giving them good moments for day 2 picks. 22, I know Hutchinson you'd probably rather have, but Walker, still a good player. Devin Lloyd, really good player. They got a 27. 2023, Anton Harrison, maybe not the best pick in the world. Strange, Bigsby, some fine players. Parker Washington. I think some mid-tier skill positional guys. And then obviously Brian Thomas looks great for this team going forward. I mean, honestly, I think I'm going to throw them in. I think it could be better, honestly. For a team picking as high as they did, 2020 didn't age well. 2021 was good, but it's like your most impressive pick was Lawrence. And in hindsight, probably shouldn't have taken ETN. Should you have taken, Walker's a good player, but should you have taken Aiden Hutchinson? I think that's TBD. Devin Lloyd, though, was a good player. 2023, I think you could have done a lot better in this draft, but obviously you didn't pick as high. And Brian Thomas looked really good. Colts, let's finish this out with Michael Pittman, Jonathan Taylor, Julian Blackmon. Really good 2020 draft for them. Kwity Paye, good pick there in 21. Odengbo just got paid by the Bears, looks pretty good for sure for a 2nd round pick. Alec Pierce, fine for a 2nd round pick. Jelani Woods didn't really work out for them, but Bernard Raymond, a really good 3rd round pick. Anthony Richardson, I mean, you invested a lot into him and probably hasn't performed the way you'd want him to, and now he's competing with Daniel Jones, Josh Downs. Pretty good pick there. I think Vatu is going to be a good player. Adonai Mitchell, I don't know, man. They started off great. That 2020 draft was phenomenal, and they did a good job drafting, leading into that, and that's why they stay competitive. 2021 was good. I think it could definitely be better. So I'm going to throw them in there. So I think I got to throw some more teams in Elite. I think I may throw in Baltimore in Elite, and I think I may throw San Fran in Elite, even though they have probably the worst decision in Trey Lance and trading up for him throughout this. I don't want to flood that with too many teams, but I do think the Eagles and the Lions have been the best for sure. I think these teams pretty good. I mean, I could maybe throw up Denver, Surtain and Benito in back-to-back drafts is pretty good. But they've had some bad picks outside of that, but Bo Nix looks like the right pick. I think the Rams, given everything considered, they I think have drafted fairly well, not having a lot of first round picks. So I'm going to leave it at that. I don't want to crowd the elite tier, but you guys can let me know what you think. And at the end of the day, you just got to remember, not every pick is going to work out. There's a lot of people that are going to flame out in the NFL since there's over 200 draft picks every single year. If you guys did enjoy it, appreciate you dropping a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments what you guys think, and I'll catch you all on the next one. Peace.